Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you my review of the brand new limited edition Adidas Predator Mania Instinct as part of Adidas's revenge pack of remade Predator models. Now, unlike the 1994 and Predator Accelerator remakes, which I got that came in a standard Adidas box, this one I got lucky and I got one of the special kind of fancy Predator boxes. You can see it's got that 2014 branding on the side as well as on the top. The Predator Mania name right there, which I thought was pretty cool. And then this cheetah print, which I don't really see any significance to other than, of course, kind of being a symbolic thing for the actual Predator animal, if you will. So open it up, it is a drawer style box. And on the inside, all you get are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly. As far as if you order a pair, what box you're going to get, it seems to be pretty random because like I said, I do have all three of the Revenge Pack Predators now, and this is the only one that I've gotten that has come with the special edition box. So it's kind of hit or miss as to whether or not you'll get the special box or a regular Adidas box. So here it is, guys. This is the Revenge Pack remade Predator Instinct in the form of a Predator Mania. The Predator Mania is a shoe from 2002. That's when it first came out. And this is really the only Predator in the Revenge Pack. It's also the final in the Revenge Pack that I'm actually somewhat familiar with because I actually did have a pair of Predator Manias back in, I want to say 2003, 2004. So I would have been like 12, 13 years old at the time. I had them in the white and black stripes with the red tongue colorway. Really good looking shoe. One of my personal favorite shoes of all time. I wish I still had them. They would have been too small for me, but it's something that I wish I would have hung on to. But nonetheless, this is the remade version of the Mania. A lot of people's favorite Predator model for a lot of different reasons we're going to talk about in today's video. For those that are wondering, this was a limited edition release from Adidas. It retailed for about $300 US, and unfortunately they've sold out since then. So if you are interested in a pair, eBay is your best bet, but be warned, expect to pay well over retail price for a pair. As far as numbers go, they didn't really specify. They said with the original Predator 1994 remake that there were 1,850 pairs worldwide, so I would suspect a very similar amount worldwide for the Predator Mania remake. So with that being said, let's get right into the video and talk about all the details you need to know about this particular shoe. To start things off, let's talk about the colorway and visual appearance of the remade Predator Mania. Now, as you can see, it comes in that classic black, white, and red Predator color. The one thing that I will say, and can definitely confirm with this particular colorway, is that the red they've used is definitely more of an orange as opposed to a red. Like I said, I had the white, black, and red Predator Mania back when it was an inline model, and it was definitely red as opposed to orange, whereas hopefully it will show in this video, it's definitely more of an orange color as opposed to a red. Not sure why Adidas chose to do that, but it is what it is, and I still think it looks really, really good. So you're going to have the orange in the big fold-over tongue, as you can see, with the elasticated strap, something I really hope they would include, and glad they did. It really does give it that old-school vibe. You don't see the elastic straps anymore, nonetheless the fold-over tongue. So if you remove the strap here, you can see that the underside of the tongue has the big Adidas logo. The entire tongue is also that same reddish-orange color. We'll put the strap back there. You can see the heel liner is all orange, black insole with your orange Predator branding. The rear portion of the shoe is also that same orange color with kind of a faux heel counter, which we'll talk about more a little bit later in the video. Just has the appearance of the external heel counter that you would have found on the original Predator. And then the entire sole plate, as you can see, is also orange and significantly different than what we got from the original Predator Mania. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, you can see it is predominantly black. It does have that leather grain finish, and then where the stitching pattern would have been, they've kind of put little indentations in the upper. It's embossed, if you will. Then they put like a clear coat in there so it kind of pops. It is, of course, a hybrid touch synthetic upper, which is significantly different than the kangaroo leather upper that you would have found on the original Predator Mania. Nonetheless, though, it does have the look, and one thing that I can say that I like about this is that they've given it padding in all the right areas. So you can see that this is not flat at all, and there actually is extra padding here. So it is going to feel a little bit different than a standard flat and smooth hybrid touch synthetic upper. So it will have more of a leather-like sensation than something like a Predator Instinct or something like that. So that's pretty cool. You can see they have that right there on the lateral side of the forefoot, as well as right here on the instep, where of course you would have normally had the Adidas logo stitched in. Instead, again, it's embossed with the extra padding in the hybrid touch. And then as far as your white branding is concerned, you can see you have that in the Adidas stripes on pretty much just the lateral side that flow into the sole plate. As you guys can see, the heel studs are also white in color. Your white branding on the top of the tongue as well as the underside of the tongue. And then of course the Predator striking elements in rubber are also white in color. So again, I think it really does look good as far as a remade Predator Mania is concerned. What was cool about the original Predator Mania to me was the split outsole. So you had basically a separate piece for the forefoot and the heel, and then the Adidas stripes would basically flow into what seemed like a continuous one-piece upper where there was pretty much no sole plate, no plastic covering this area of the shoe. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. And because you have a sole plate here, as opposed to the stripes just flowing directly underneath the shoe, it does have the slight appearance of a takedown model, especially considering the look of the heel counter as well. And also the tongue, because it's not leather this time around, you can see it is relatively thick. So it does give it more of a clunky look than you would have found with the original Predator Mania. But of course, this is not the original, it's a remake. And for what it is, I will say that it actually does look really, really good. One other thing that seemed a little bit strange to me, but after kind of thinking about it a little bit more, I understand why it looks a little bit weird, are actually the Predator elements themselves. You can see that they stick off the surface of the shoe. They're essentially just glued on, and they're actually not any different as far as the pattern is concerned. It's very, very close, and it's pretty much the same thickness and texturing as rubber. It's the same pattern and everything. But what would have been different on the original Predator Mania is because it was a leather upper, it was actually stitched in so it was flush with the upper as opposed to sticking past the upper like it is here. So for that reason, again, it does look a little bit different. But overall, considering it's a remake with the modern Predator Instinct elements, I think that it really does look good, and it's definitely one of the better looking of the Revenge Pack models. Leave a comment down below, let me know which is your favorite of the Revenge Pack Predators, the 94, the Accelerator, or the Mania. I'd be curious to hear what your opinions are. And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs of the Predator Mania remake. As far as performance is concerned, while this is a remake, more of a collector's item, if you will, it still has all the performance aspects that you would expect from a modern soccer shoe. So if you did manage to snag a pair, just know that if you want to, it is a very wearable and a very capable performer. Now, what I really liked about the original Predator Mania, and please keep in mind the opinions I'm sharing are from me wearing the shoe when I was 12, 13 years old. So it may have just been that I was very thrilled to have a high-end pair of Predators at that particular age, but from what I hear from some of the older people who wore the Predator Manias when it was an inline model, it's one of the best Predators of all time, and I would tend to agree. I think visually it's one of the best looking shoes Adidas has ever put out, and I really like the combination of high quality kangaroo leather as well as the somewhat minimal striking element, at least for a Predator model. You can see you have rubber in pretty much just the forefoot strike zone area of the foot. It does have the off-center lacing system, but the majority of the upper is left pretty straightforward with what normally would have been kangaroo leather, and this time around is of course Hybrid Touch synthetic. Like I mentioned, there is some extra padding to the Hybrid Touch synthetic on this particular shoe, which I found to be particularly interesting. I'd be curious to see how it does feel in terms of overall performance, and I think it's something to look forward to as far as future Hybrid Touch models from Adidas, because now we more or less know that they can make it a little bit thicker, a little bit more padded, a little bit more Kanga-Lite-esque, if you will. So again, kind of curious to see what this kind of holds for the future of Adidas's synthetic Hybrid Touch models. But nonetheless, on the Predator Mania, this is some of the nicest Hybrid Touch I've ever seen on an Adidas shoe. So no complaints there whatsoever, and it definitely is going to perform the part. It's thin with that little bit of extra padding. The elements, as you can see, are rubber. They're raised off of the shoe, and they're going to provide a lot of extra grip. It does have some pretty heavy texturing there. And again, when you strike the ball in this area of the foot, you're going to get that extra grip. And I wouldn't necessarily say the sensation that you might have gotten from an original Predator Mania, but definitely something that is similar. Now, the flap tongue is something that some people love, some people hate. On this particular iteration, because it is pretty much 2 layers of synthetic, it is on the chunky side. It's not particularly flexible, and it is going to provide a lot of extra bulk on the top of the foot. So for that reason, I don't think it's the best thing as far as performance is concerned. It looks absolutely incredible, but it's definitely not going to have the more low profile feel that you would have gotten from the original Mania, which would have been made from soft kangaroo leather that pretty much just melted into the shoe. I do like that they included the elastic strap, where you can kind of put it a few different ways. I personally prefer the look of it when it's kind of just past the studs in the forefoot. Some people wear it directly in the midfoot like this. And I've even seen some people wear these things way up at the front. It kind of doesn't work like that with this particular stud pattern, just because it's not the same bladed stud pattern you would have got with the Predator Mania. Instead, it's the new Instinct stud pattern. But nonetheless, you can kind of wear it how you want. It's really up to preference at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But nonetheless, it looks really good, but it does provide extra bulk on the top of the foot. It's got the same cut as the Predator Mania in the heel area, which is not too far off from the inline Predator models. You can see it's more curved here as opposed to being more of a rounded shape like you're going to find on the current model. You do have what appears to be an external heel counter, and it is hard to the touch, but it's pretty much just a clear piece of thin, flexible plastic that's kind of molded to the top of the upper. There's still that internal plastic heel counter like you would normally find on a Predator Instinct, but they just put this little piece on top to give it the visual appearance of an external heel counter like you would have found on the original Mania. If you've ever seen an Adidas F30 with that extra piece for the sprint frame, it's something that is very, very similar to that, just a little bit higher quality. Other than that though, you do have a removable insole, which I can show you guys right here. Again, nothing different from the standard Predator Instinct. Mesh liner on top, your Predator branding right there, and just one single layer of this black foam. The heel liner is a smooth synthetic leather with plenty of padding there, so again, comfort should not be an issue whatsoever. And then moving on to the sole plate, again, it's the control frame found that's taken directly from the modern Predator Instinct. It performs great. It's a little bit thicker than what we got from the LZ1, LZ2. For that reason, it has a little bit more weight to it as well. It's very flexible, very comfortable from right out of the box. And of course, you get that triangular stud pattern from Adidas, which isn't my personal favorite, but it definitely is growing on me as of late. And I have really no complaints about it when it comes to overall performance. You get a good blend of grip when pushing off and maneuverability when planted with this triangular stud shape that Adidas has implemented here. So that's pretty much it as far as performance is concerned. While it is a design from 2002, it's a very, very capable shoe, especially in this particular form factor. So again, it's a collector's item, but at the same time, it is very, very wearable. As far as weight is concerned, because the shoe features the same base as a standard Predator Instinct, the weight range that it falls into is also very, very similar. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. Going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 10 ounces exactly. So it isn't a light shoe, but it isn't a heavy shoe either. I believe this would have been in a very similar weight range to that of the original Predator Mania, which I believe when it came out was one of the lightest Predators that they ever made, if not the lightest Predator that Adidas ever put out. So again, I don't think people who are buying this shoe are looking for something that is ultra lightweight, but it definitely is worth noting that the shoe is 10 ounces in a size 9 US for those that were wondering. All right, here's a look at the Mania Instincts on feet. And just like the Accelerator remakes, I think that these are pretty convincing. Obviously, when you're up close, you can tell that it is not the original Predator Mania, but at a quick glance from a slight distance, these could definitely fool you. And that's what I really like about these remakes from Adidas. Yes, they are in one way completely different from the standard Predators, but at the same time, they really have stuck with a lot of those same classic elements that to me make these really, really cool. And I wish to see more of this from Adidas as well as other brands in the future. These remakes, I think there's a demand for them, and maybe even not releases in limited quantities, something that everybody can get their hands on, maybe something that I think a lot of people would like to see in the future. So as far as how these things fit and feel, they feel similar to a standard pair of Predator Instincts. I would say that these ones are a little bit more plain Jane, and that is pretty much just an all-over hybrid touch synthetic upper with less restrictiveness because there is just less rubber elements across the upper. So for that reason, one could argue that these are even a little bit more comfortable. But again, I don't think too many people are buying these to wear them. Some are, but a lot of them are buying them just as a collector's item. As far as the sizing goes, they are true to size, just like the standard Predator Instincts. I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. So that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of the video goes. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of how these look on feet. And with that being said, let's move on to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Revenge Pack Adidas Predator Mania Instinct. Again, I think that this is an absolutely fantastic remake from Adidas. It looks the part, and it is going to perform the part as well if that is something that you're looking for from this particular shoe. Let me know down below in the comments. Would you guys be interested in seeing a video including all 3 Revenge Pack shoes, considering this is the final one, and I have all 3 in my possession now? Just leave a yes or no down below in the comments. Be sure to let me know. And also let me know what you guys think of these re-releases from big companies like Adidas and Nike. Would you be interested in seeing some of the older F50 models come back? Would you be interested in seeing remade versions of the older Mercurial series? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. We'll get a bit of a discussion going because, like I said, I really do feel like there is a demand for this type of product in today's soccer cleat enthusiast market. Now, if you guys are interested in more info on this particular shoe, you can check out the review page on my website, which is going to have the high quality images that I took myself that'll give you a better idea as to some of the close-up details that you might not see in the online stock photos. Again, getting a pair, eBay is your best bet because they pretty much sold out within the first couple of minutes of being released. Other than that though, guys, if you have any questions at all or suggestions, leave those down below in the comment section. If you found today's video helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.